There's something I need to ask you. When you think about something you really, really want, what energy do you bring to that wanting? Is it light, open, trusting? Or is there something more underneath it? Something more that feels like it's tight, a little urgent, desperate, like I need this. I don't know when it's coming, but I have to keep pushing to make this real. Because honestly, that second energy, that urgency, that grip is one of the most effective ways to push away the very thing that you want. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because of something deeply fundamental about how the vortex works. Now, today, we're going to go all the way inside it. Let's talk about the paradox of wanting. The more you need something, the more your energy pushes it away. It's like, I need it, but I don't want it. I need it, but I want it. It doesn't make logical sense at first. Because in the physical world, the world of action and effort, working harder often produces more results, right? But in the vibrational world, the energy behind your wanting matters more than the intensity of your wanting. When you desperately want something, the dominant feeling underneath is, I don't have this yet. I'm not okay without this, and something is missing. This needs to hurry up and get here. That's a lack vibration. And the law of attraction responds to your dominant vibration, which is give me more of the experience of not having what I already don't have. So it does, not to punish you, just to match you. The intensity of your desire is not the problem. The energy of your desire is what determines whether it attracts it or repels it. Desire from a place of joy and expectation, magnetic. Desire from a place of desperation and neediness, repellent. This is the paradox, and allowing is the resolution. So, what is allowing? Allowing is not passivity, is not laziness, is not indifference, and is not resignation. Allowing is talking, taking aligned, inspired action from a place of enthusiasm rather than fear, and maintaining the vibration of expectation gets that urgency. It's trusting the process without needing to control every detail and being open to your desire arriving in a different form than you expected. Now, releasing the how without releasing the desire. And the difference between forcing and allowing is the feeling underneath the action. You're working on something because you're excited and inspired. That's aligned action. That's allowing. Are you working on something because you're terrified it won't work and you need it to? You need to control the outcome? That's forcing. That's resistance. Same action, completely different energy, completely different results. One happens quicker through the allowing, and the other takes longer. There are three steps of allowing, three stages. You are allowing thought. It's when you notice your thoughts about your desires are tight versus open. You tight. I need this. Why isn't it here? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But if it's open, it's I know what I want. I've asked for it. I trust that it's in the works. And you have to practice it. You have to catch the tight thought. Breathe. Replace it with an open thought. And then you get to level two, the allowing and the feeling. You cultivate the emotional state of someone who has already received what they asked for. The way you feel on Christmas Eve, knowing that tomorrow something wonderful is coming. You get to run down the stairs and open those presents. You don't have them yet, but you trust it's coming. That feeling is available now. It's available at any moment, for any desire, anytime. All you have to do is practice daily visualization from a place of received and feel it in your body for 10 to 15 minutes. Level three is allowing an identity. You become someone who fundamentally trusts that things work out for them. Not because of evidence, because it's who they are. And they're not forcing, they're not chasing, they're moving through life in a state of open, receptive expectation. Things flow to them rather than being dragged by them. This is the allowing identity, and it develops over time with consistent practice of levels 1 and 2. Now, releasing the how. One of the biggest blocks to allowing is insisting on knowing how your desires will manifest. How will the money come? Where will it come from? How will I meet this person? Where will I meet this person? How is this even possible from where I'm currently at? And when you can't see the how, when it looks impossible, resistance kicks in. It can't happen because I don't see a path. I don't know how I'm going to get there, so I can't get there. Abraham-Hicks is very explicit when they say the how is not your job. Your job is to maintain the frequency of your desire. The universe's job is to arrange the cooperative. The path that actually unfolds will almost always be different from the one you would have planned. It never turns out exactly that way. Usually it's better. Usually it's more surprisingly and elegant. And it works way better than what you thought. Involving people, places, opportunities, and synchronicities you couldn't have predicted. Because you're not just manifesting through your own effort. You're allowing a universe that can see the whole picture in every connection, every timing, and to arrange the path that gets you on your journey forward. And it can only do that when you stop trying to control the how. Every time you feel yourself gripping the how, breathe, release, and say, that's not my department. My job is alignment. The rest will show up and mean it. You have to detach. And there is a very big difference between detachment, and indifference. You allow gets released is interpreted as don't care, but that's not right. You're allowed to care deeply about your desires, deeply, passionately, joyfully, sophisticatedly, enthusiastically. The kind of detachment you're allowing requires isn't indifference to the outcome. It's non-attachment to the timeline and the form. I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't know how this is going to happen, but it's going to happen. You're clear on what you want. You care deeply about having it, and you're willing to receive it however and whenever it comes because you trust that it's coming. The way you might feel about a package you've ordered. You care about receiving it, sure. You know it's on its way, though. You're excited for the package's arrival, but you're not glued to the tracking number, refreshing it every 20 seconds like, okay, it's gotten here. It's here now. It's moved this. You're not panicking every time it doesn't update. You know it's coming. You know you ordered it. You know you put your money on it. You paid for it. And it's just waiting for it to be shipped. And knowing that creates a relaxed and trusting and open energy. That's allowing. Caring deeply and trusting completely. Both. Now, how does trust resonate as a frequency? Trust is not just a feeling you have when things are going well. Trust is a practice you choose before the proof arrives. And it's one of the highest vibrational frequencies there is. When you genuinely trust, you relax. You receive ideas more easily. You take better action. You stop blocking the very thing that you want. Now, how do you build trust? Through evidence? Do you keep a list of times things worked out unexpectedly? Times the right person appeared? Times a door opened that you didn't expect? Times something that seemed impossible resolved itself? Read this list regularly. Let it build your evidence base. Let it tell your nervous system, this is how my life works. Things work out for me. That's trust being earned through attention. Go back, list everything. Every time it worked. You allow practice. You allow it to catch yourself. You allow the feeling of it instead of forcing it. You're going to catch yourself forcing, and it's okay, it's expected, but you have to know what to do when you do it. Step 1, name it. I'm forcing right now. Just general recognition, no judgment, but I know I'm pushing something. I'm pushing for this to occur. Put your hands on your heart or your belly. Take 3 deep breaths. Physically signal to your nervous system that you're choosing to shift. Say, I release the need to control how things come. I trust that it's coming and I'm open to receiving it. Don't just say the words, feel them. Step 4, redirect your attention to something that genuinely feels good. Right now, right in this moment. Your appreciation practice, as you would say. Your future self-visualization. A memory, a time for something worked out unexpectedly. Do it as many times as needed. You might catch yourself forcing 10 times a day. That's 10 opportunities to practice allowing. Each one strengthens the skill. You tip the scale in your favor of the new identity that you are pursuing to have. Now, how does life look like when you allow? When you've genuinely developed the skill of allowing, life starts to feel different. Things come to you, not from hours of stress and effort, but from inspired action that comes easily and at the right time. Synchronicities start to feel ordinary. You mention something you need and it appears. You think about someone and they call. You set an intention and the path reveals itself in a way you couldn't have planned. You stop white knuckling, gripping your way through experiences and hard situations so they feel more manageable. Not because they're less hard, but because you're not adding the weight of control and fear on top of them. You trust more, not blindly, not passively, actively, consciously, deliberately. A trust you've earned through practice. And from that trust, the vortex is no longer something you occasionally visit. It becomes where you live, where you reside on a day-to-day basis, time and time again. The art of allowing is the art of trusting. Trusting that you're worthy, that your desires are valid, and that the universe has heard you, and that the path is being arranged for you forward. And that your job, your only job that you have, is to stay in alignment. Just long enough to receive what's already yours, what you've already asked for. You've asked for it, and it's been given. Now allow it. Part 8 is the honest one. Life is going to be life. Things will get hard. And I'll see you there. Beautifully Yours Beneath the Surface on Spotify and YouTube.